Welcome to the FFB Cast podcast, home to fantasy greatness. Here's your host, Joseph Hoppy.
What's going on, everybody? FFB Joe here. This is not an FFB Cast podcast, but it is a live stream, and it is Mock Draft Monday. We will be doing a 12-team half PPR mock draft for you guys on Fantasy Football Calculator. That is happening now, as it is 5:05, and then later on at 6 o'clock, I believe we have a slow draft. We're going to be reviewing multiple slow drafts via draft.com or the draft app on my phone, depending on how I decide to stream this. But right now, let's take a look at what we've got going on. We will be drafting from the 11th position, and we will be starting shortly. Let's take a look here. And I do not have my own rankings in on here. So this is all default. And drafting from the 11th spot, I'm assuming we'll be picking from these running backs. It would be great if Todd Gurley could fall to us. Let's see if we can make that happen, or will it into happening. And we begin. Alvin Kamara goes first. I mean, that's personally my number one running back. So that's pretty interesting to see that here, even though Saquon Barkley was, and he goes third, Saquon does, and he was the top ranked in their default rankings. That's what I like about Fantasy Football Calculator. I think the computers have different strategies, or different personalities, I should say. Let's see here. If we weren't to take a running back, what would we be able to choose from? You know what? I think I really like James Conner, but I also like Dalvin Cook. And if Michael Thomas would have came to us, I think I would have taken Michael Thomas or Julio Jones. I'm not going to jump on Odell Beckham just yet. And Juju Smith-Schuster, I think, is a great pick. But we're going to go Dalvin Cook here. We're going to try running back late. We'll see what wide receivers can fall to us. Travis Kelce, wow, going mid-second. Patrick Mahomes, the first quarterback off the board, the top of the third round. Way too early for me. And we have a non-computer drafting with us called Zebra in the 6th spot. So far, Zebra's gone Christian McCaffrey in the middle of the first round, Nick Chubb middle of the second, and then Keenan Allen. I like what he's got going on so far. And it's on to us. And we kind of get screwed with with what we have left. I mean, if we really want our pick of running back, I really only like Stefon Diggs, so I guess I got to take him here. I feel like the advantage of being at this 11 position or inversely at the 2 position would be that you get to see what your opponent has and is going to do. He already has 2 wide receivers. I didn't assume that he would draft a wide receiver in that spot. I didn't think he'd take Diggs. I actually wanted to take Sony Michel there. And I wonder if I would have taken Michel had he taken Diggs. I don't think he would have. So now here we are in what I believe is a pretty tough spot. I really don't want to go Julian Edelman here. But I am. Yeah, I would have rather gone Sony Michel, considering that we have a flex position, and then hope for Diggs to come back to us. Because if we miss on Diggs, that's not make or break. I mean, especially where he was, it's not like it was a value where he's going. I would have said AJ Green was more of a value there. AJ Green mid-3rd round, that's pretty good. I actually like that team. Team 7th position. Let's take a look. So Todd Gurley, Travis Kelce, AJ Green, Tariq Cohen. I'm a fan of Tariq Cohen. I think he's a decent 4th round pick. A lot of people are being scared off by the Bears picking David Montgomery. I'm not too concerned. I mean, what Tariq Cohen does well, I don't think David Montgomery is going to do good enough to take anything away from that. And Kenny Golladay goes. That's who I was kind of hoping would come back to us in the 5th round here. And then Deshaun Watson goes. So, Mike Williams, Lamar Miller, James White. I think James White is the pick here. Otherwise, I may have gone, no. Tevin Coleman or Sammy Watkins. I think I'm going to go James White here and hope Sammy Watkins comes back to us. Currently, Sammy Watkins is a steal, and we do get him here. Now, he might just end up being the best wide receiver when it's all said and done due to the Tyreek Hill news. And I am curious if Tyreek Hill was, yes, he was drafted in the 4th round. Which seems like, I mean, that's obviously taken into consideration that he has a looming suspension at the very minimum. Jared Cook goes in the middle of the 6th round. I love Jared Cook as a tight end, but the 6th is a little too early for me. So far, we've got James Conner, Dalvin Cook, Stefon Diggs, Julian Edelman, James White, and Sammy Watkins. I think it's pretty solid so far all around. Maybe if Hunter Henry falls to us. I do like Rashad Penny. Russell Wilson could be a nice pick. But we have 1, 2, 3 teams, 2 now that haven't taken a quarterback. Only 1. Here it goes. And Russell Wilson's off the board. It's funny how you can predict these things. So I'm thinking Rashad Penny here. And that's where we're gonna go. If I had to take someone else, well, I would have taken Robbie Anderson, Hunter Henry, and Russell Wilson, which were the 3 picks before me. And if I had to take someone else, well, it would be, we'll see, because we are on the board. We've got depth. I think we could roll with Vance McDonald. A little early for my liking. Only because this isn't best ball. If this were best ball, you could pair maybe Ricky Seals-Jones and whoever your favorite Patriots tight end is going to be, whether you're drafting Rob Gronkowski, anticipating that he'd come back, or if you're, putting your chips on ASJ there, which I'm not really doing. I have a lot more shares of Matt Lacoste than I do Safarian Jenkins. But when you can pick one of those guys or both, and then also take a guy like Trey Burton or Ricky Seals-Jones, who I'm just a fan of because of his history with Kyler Murray. Not only that, but he ran the most routes than any tight end last year on a per snap basis. I think, and that was in one of the worst offenses that we've ever seen. So I think Ricky Seals-Jones has a lot of upside and a lot of room for improvement. I don't think he can be as bad as he was last year. If that offense does improve, which I'm assuming, and I believe that we're all assuming it will improve, it would certainly be astonishing if it got worse. Let's see what we've got here. What have we here? I like Devin Funchess, but I think I'd rather have Geronimo Allison. So let's go ahead and take Geronimo. Packers number 2 wide receiver. Brought him back on a 1-year deal because they could not live without him. No, I think it's just, if they didn't bring him back, they would have had to draft a rookie wide receiver, and Aaron Rodgers is not a fan of these rookies. He doesn't seem to have the patience really for these guys, which is not a very exciting thing. When you're talking about your team's quarterback, you kind of want him to be a mentor and a leader, not a hissy fit kind of impatient, sporadic kind of bad attitude guy, which is shaping up to be exactly what Rodgers is. And I think a lot of the Green Bay fans, at least I know I am, getting a bit tired of hearing about it at the very least. And we got auto-drafted for Ben. I was going to take Devin Funchess, but that might be my best ball brain speaking. Well, no, we only have 4 wide receivers so far. But we went James Conner, Dalvin Cook, Stephon Diggs, Julian Edelman, James White, Sammy Watkins, the steal of the draft. Then Rashad Penny, Vance McDonald, Geronimo Allison, Big Ben. I like Lamar Jackson's potential. And let's go ahead and grab them. Usually I wouldn't take more than one quarterback, but remember we did get auto drafted. And if you're taking Lamar Jackson, it's probably smart to grab another running back. Oh, wow. There's just so many receivers that I like late. Deshaun Jackson, Anthony Miller. It's I definitely am okay with passing on wide receivers early. I mean, a guy like Geronimo, think about it like this. I kind of gave this very, very little thought. But if Rodgers throws for around 40 touchdowns, give or take a few, Davante Adams has been the only wide receiver in the past 3 years to score double-digit touchdowns. So let's give him 10 touchdowns. Where are the other 30 touchdowns that Rodgers is going to throw? Where are they going? I mean, we're not talking about total touchdowns for the offense. This isn't accounting for any of the touchdowns that the running backs are going to score rushing-wise. So where are the 30 touchdowns going? I could see Jimmy Graham getting 6. Now that leaves 24 open. Where do you think the second wide receiver on an Aaron Rodgers offense is going to get if there's 24 touchdowns to go around and you have to distribute them? Now, Zebra takes MVS, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He'll get 5 or 6. I think Geronimo Allison has a shot for 7 or 8 touchdowns. And you are going to be very, very happy when you slide him in there on those bye weeks and he hits those. Like, I really want to take Ronald Jones here, but I'm not a believer, and I'm not going to get on the hype. Let's take one more wide receiver. I mean, I think Peyton Barber is better suited for the Bruce Arians offense. And we are in the 14th round. Let's see who's all left. I think it's fair to take him here, just in case he does take over. I mean, I think we know he can't catch the ball, and I think that is a necessity in a Bruce Arians offense. So my money is on Peyton Barber, starting and finishing as the best Bucs running back. But we're hearing a lot of buzz that Ronald Jones is going to be the first and second down back. It could be pressure from upper management to maybe not make something happen, but to find out what they got out of the draft capital, with him being a second-round pick 2 years ago. And we are not drafting kickers or defenses because it is May 6th, and that would be absurd. So, with our last pick, let's go ahead and do it, you guys. You heard me talk about them. Let's do it. Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And there we have it. Your draft is complete. Drafting from the 11th position, we went James Conner, Dalvin Cook, Stephon Diggs, and then Julian Edelman. So our RB1 and RB2, and then 2 wide receivers in Diggs and Edelman. Certainly, you're not very excited about the wide receivers here, at least the first 2. I think the depth is something to get excited about. I like the last half of the draft better than the first half. Maybe I could have done it a little differently. Had I taken wide receivers early and running backs later, I think I might actually like this a little more. If I would have gotten like a Michael Thomas and Julio Jones or Odell Beckham or even Juju. So you take either one of those four. If I could have got two of those four, and then where Diggs and Edelman went, had I have gotten someone like Henry, Michelle, Aaron Jones, or Mark Ingram, even Devonta Freeman, I think I'd be feeling a lot better about it because we did get James White in the 5th. And then we have Rashad Penny also. I love the Sammy Watkins pick. I think that's kind of what ties this wide receiver group together. I wouldn't be surprised if he finished as the best wide receiver of him, Diggs, and Edelman. I'm not expecting him to finish ahead of Diggs, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I've already been on the record for saying that Philip Dorsett, I think, will finish as the best Patriots wide receiver. And I haven't really defined that, or I didn't define that when I said it. Now, Julian Edelman is going to get the most receptions. It's possible that N'Keal Harry gets the most touchdowns. I think Philip Dorsett is poised to have the most yards of any New England wide receiver this year. It's his second year in this offense. He's just a little more comfortable. I like the way that they used him last year. He was a former first-round pick by the Indianapolis Colts. He is talented. He's shown promise. And he's kind of a small, quick-twitch guy, and New England really knows how to utilize those guys. You could see him with some jet sweeps taking over some of the role that Cordell Patterson is leaving behind. I'm a huge fan of Philip Dorsett this year. So there we have it. Big Ben and Lamar Jackson as our quarterbacks. Vance McDonald as our only tight end. Nope, never mind. I take that back. We did take ASJ in the last round. Deshaun Jackson and John Brown. Kind of big play, boomer bust type of guys. Josh Allen threw downfield more than any quarterback last year by a wide margin. And we all know what John Brown's specialty is, right? Remember his days in Arizona. I think the combination of those two could be something beautiful. John Brown was playing spectacular while Flacco was in. As soon as Flacco comes out, Lamar Jackson goes in. John Brown just disappeared. So I'm glad to see him kind of get out of Baltimore and get with a big arm quarterback. I mean, there couldn't have been too many other pairings that would have been better than that. I was crossing my fingers that John Brown would have signed with the Packers. I would have loved to see him hook up with Aaron Rodgers. That would have been something beautiful. But Josh Allen will suffice. I think they can have some big hookups and some big connections, big plays heading into the 2019 season. Much better best ball prospect, John Brown, and Josh Allen as well, than redraft. Here we're drafting for redraft. And there's the team overall. I hope you guys like it. Give me your thoughts. Let me know. We'll be putting these videos up on YouTube. They have not been on YouTube. We've been live streaming on Twitch and Facebook. But we're going to start putting them on YouTube for you guys to go back and watch them. You can kind of see, from April to May to June to July, these mock drafts, and kind of see how they change. Right now, you're getting good values on certain players, and people are going to catch on. Like, this is why I draft in my redraft leagues. I draft super early. People say, well, that's so stupid because of injuries. Well, guess what? I'm going to take the risk in the multiple leagues that I'm in that one of my players is going to get injured. And if you can't recover from, say, a first or second rounder, getting injured and you playing without them the entire season, if you can't recover from that and make the playoffs, and I know a lot of other things have to not go wrong, but if you can't do that, then you're just not trying hard enough, or you're not listening to the information that's out there, you're not utilizing your resources, because fantasy football was so much easier for guys like me years and years ago, before there were a million podcasts and everybody was putting out articles and telling you who to draft. I mean, it was night and day. It was men amongst boys, and now everybody has those resources at the tap of a finger on their smartphone, So it's even the most unknowledgeable fan can become so informed within minutes of just reading an article or picking up a mock draft or watching a video like this, say, and now you know where the value. Say you hadn't done any mock drafts so far, you know somewhat where the value of these players are, and as we talk about it, and as you hear everyone else talk about it more and more, it just becomes more clear what the consensus thought is, and you'll see that change throughout the months. Like right now, Sammy Watkins going in the 6th round, I can see him moving all the way up to the 3rd, even the 4th. If he hits a big play in the preseason, say him and Mahomes connect for a 40-plus yard touchdown, he may shoot up into the 2nd round, the back end of the 2nd round. I wouldn't be surprised if people start treating him like Tyreek Hill. I won't. I've loved getting him in the 6th, 7th, 8th, even 9th in best balls. Even before the Tyreek Hill news broke, I was all over Sammy Watkins just because I assumed Tyreek Hill wasn't going to play. But it's going to change. It's going to change. So if you're watching this now or you come across this video on YouTube, I just want to let you guys know that the time to draft Sammy Watkins is now. It wasn't, or it's not going to be, a month from now, 2 months from now, when you're actually doing your drafts and maybe your home league drafts. Get out there, get on some best ball, and capitalize on this stock. Treat it as a stock. This is Apple stock before they blew up. All right, maybe it's not that great, but you get the point. So thank you all for being here. Like I said, comment. You're going to find this video on YouTube later on at some point when I get around to making a thumbnail for it and sticking it on there. Let us know what you guys think. We do this all the time. Check us out at FFBcast on Twitter. All of this stuff here. This is where you can find us. And if you want to do these drafts with us, go ahead and jump in. You know what time we do it. You can find us on fantasyfootballcalculator.com. You can find us in our draft leagues on draft.com via draft app. We do this every Monday, 5:05 on Fantasy Football Calculator, 12-team, half PPR. That's locked in. There was only one other non-computer drafting with us today. So you guys have plenty of chances, plenty of opportunity to jump in there and do some drafts with us. I know I would appreciate it. We need more non-computer drafting. Zebra here helped us out a little bit. I think he went a little bit early on the Jared Cook pick, which might be something that happens in your home leagues or is something that's more realistic as we get closer to the 2019 season. Josh Jacobs, maybe it went a little too late here. And he probably would have gone much later had Zebra not been in this draft. He probably would have fell to me. So, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it all the time. Love doing this, and I'm glad that you guys like watching it too. So, stay tuned. We will be back shortly. We'll be checking out our slow best ball drafts. We've got a lot of them lined up here. I sit on these picks. I wait just for you guys, so you should definitely feel special.